You know what time it is. Time for an all-new What's Up. Today, Jacob Miller is joining the co-hosts to talk what's hot about MSU students not knowing about the Kentucky gubernatorial race, to whether the CNBC debate had an ulterior motive. Plus, Steve Middleton is giving us a sneak peek at his latest documentary, and Jeffrey Hill is here to talk about the upcoming Moorhead Film Challenge. All that and much more coming up on What's Up with Chad Hedrick, Morgan Casto, Austin Burke, and Ricky Nelson. What's Up starts right now.
Hey everybody, welcome to What's Up. We're back to our normal selves. We're not? Okay.
No, we're not. Are we?
Such a fun episode last week. I don't know how we can top it. As you can tell, Ricky is not here today, so here to step up to the plate as guest co-host is Jacob Miller. Welcome, Jacob.
Thank you so much.
Excited to have you on with us.
Me too, except
yeah, you didn't get the red memo?
It's red. Feeling a little
red, man.
out, but it's fine.
So get back soon, Ricky, because somebody likes to clash. I don't think this is going to work.
Okay.
Just kidding. He did wear neutral colors, so.
Yeah,
okay.
it works. It goes with
Yeah.
anything.
It works. Well, there you go.
And that's what's hot.
And that's what's hot.
Yeah.
Speaking of what's hot, we had the governor's race this week. But did you guys vote?
I voted.
You voted. I voted.
Yeah.
Did you vote?
I voted.
You don't live in Kentucky.
I don't.
So your vote is but last week, before the election, our friends at the Trailblazer, MSU's on-campus newspaper, conducted an independent survey video about the gubernatorial race. They asked 51 students who they were voting for or if they had been following the race. Their answers were no good. I mean, it was just not a good situation at all. We've actually got a little snippet of it, so we're going to take a look.
I have no idea who those two people are.
I think Bevan.
Conway.
Probably Conway.
I'm not really sure. I haven't been following the candidatal race that closely. I'm not really sure. I'm not really following politics.
It hasn't been something that I've really been interested or followed it really into much. I have no idea.
So as you can see, not a lot of educated students on campus about the race. So is this alarming to you? I mean,
I think it's predictable because there are so many people that I told them, I was going home to vote, and they said, oh, I'm not, and
Right,
like
it's
it's
no
no big deal. But at the same time, I think that it's not, the importance of it is not stressed as much to our generation. And honestly, I feel like a lot of the campaigns are not necessarily addressed toward our generation.
Our generation.
no.
I don't think they are at all.
When that is something that's important because we're the future. We are the future, and that's.
They don't come to college campuses at all.
Yeah.
Well, back in the spring, I interviewed Matt Bevan's running mate Janine Hampton, and we did a big hour-long special. It's on msutv.net. Go watch it. Shameful plug. And that's the only instance that I know of where one of the candidates was in Moorhead, and this was in the primary. This was before they had gotten the Republican nomination for the gubernatorial race. But they just don't come to college campuses, and I think that that's your mistake. I remember I did an interview request for a race last year. I'm not going to mention who or what race, and I said, we're on campus. You're reaching out to the college campus votes. It'll go online, and they denied me because they said they're going to want to do interviews with bigger names or bigger stations, and I'm like, well, okay.
I feel like if we were, the target to some of these campaigns, that we were the audience that they were, campaigning toward. I feel like we would have a better turnout,
Exactly.
for these voting days. And I think that it's really interesting because, why would you not vote?
Yeah.
Why would you not?
I think on one hand, I can agree with, it's up to, candidates to reach out to all the constituents that they
Exactly.
represent.
Yeah.
On the other hand, like you reminded everyone, like I'm not from Kentucky, I have to vote absentee.
Yeah.
And so I have to take it upon myself, if I care enough, to vote to register for absentee. And then not only that, I remember when I was voting like a few weeks ago, I was literally just on my laptop researching like everything. I was looking up
Doing your research.
who
now,
everyone,
and
yeah,
nobody
what
does
everyone
that.
stood for and everything, because that's how much I care. And I think that that's something that people, our generation students, lack, is that they're used to be given information, and they're not
They
used
don't
to,
know how
they're
to
not,
research.
They're not used
they
to
don't know.
looking
Yeah.
for it.
I don't think
Exactly.
they know their stance on situations.
Exactly.
Or,
They don't want to agree with their parents because
exactly, or which party they're even
Exactly.
for.
I think it's that combined with people our age in some cases just don't care. I know a lot of people
Yeah.
who did not even
that's-
they didn't even know that today was election day, and I think it's just our mindset as college students just to go around sometimes and just not want to pay attention to the things that are more important, and I think the election is something that a lot of people just don't care about.
You have to grow up. That's
It's
point blank.
important.
It's our country. It's our future at hand. And when you say, "Oh, I don't care," well, that just makes you look like a fool. You have to grow up. You have to own it. You have to say, "Hey, I am 18 years old or above. It is my civic duty to vote." There are people that are overseas fighting for our freedom and our ability to vote for our governors, our presidents, our county clerks, even if they don't do their job. It's. Did I say that? Whoops.
You did.
It's just kind of.
Actually, I quoted that from. I gave a speech about voting in a class just a couple weeks ago, a 9-minute speech about the importance of voting, and that's actually one of the lines. You have to vote. If the voting age started at 30 in the last presidential race, Mitt Romney would be president right now. That's how important the 18 to 29-year-old vote is, and that we changed an election result because it blows my mind.
Yeah.
So go vote.
Go vote.
Because if not,
Next time.
Yeah, if not today.
you never know who's going to become president. We're going to move on to, Halloween was last week. There was a bit of a costume controversy over some of the biggest newsmakers. A lot of people pick their costume over who's making headlines. Caitlyn Jenner has been making headlines all
Kim
year.
Davis.
Kim Davis.
Davis.
And, now the LGBT community is outraged because of a company called Spirit Halloween had a Caitlyn Jenner costume. So a lot of people are upset saying, this is a mockery, this is, making fun of her. Is it? Or is it just, hey, you're in the public eye, this is what happened?
I mean, I was Marilyn Monroe last Halloween, and I was Miranda Sings this Halloween. I wanted to be Jackie Kennedy. Why would I? I'm not making fun of Jackie Kennedy by being Jackie Kennedy for Halloween.
Yeah.
She's an icon. Marilyn Monroe is an icon. Miranda Sings is somebody funny, and that's great. And the thing is, I just think this is so funny because the people who are getting mad about this are not. It's not Caitlyn Jenner.
No, she was. I think she even said it was.
That's the difference.
I
I mean,
expected it.
I think that was expected because Caitlyn Jenner is an icon now, and that's to be expected with that status. But the fact that the people, it's always like this when there's some type of issue, there's somebody else complaining about something that it does not necessarily affect them or doesn't affect them directly.
I wouldn't be offended if somebody had an Austin Burt costume. I mean, I'd be like, yeah,
Wow, yeah.
go wear that. You know what I mean? Right, Chad? You can bring out yours. That we, he's gone.
No.
All right.
Here's my thing. I think we're now in a society where we are way too PC about things. You can't say anything without offending somebody. And
That's true.
The people that are outraged, it had nothing to do with you. Unless you were Caitlyn Jenner, stop complaining. Stop. You're just trying to get your fame. And their quote was that there's no tasteful way to celebrate Caitlyn Jenner or respect transgender people this way on one night of the year when people use their most twisted imaginations to pretend to be villains and monsters. Not everybody uses Halloween to
That's a secluded statement.
Oh,
to
my
be
goodness.
Like I
monsters
said,
and villains.
I was going to be Jackie Kennedy,
Well,
Jackie
I
O.
like to think like if Spirit Halloween didn't create the costume, somebody would have just dressed up like that anyways. On one hand, someone's like capitalizing off of it, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Take a Xanax. That's what I say. We'll be right back with more What's Hot. Don't go away.
It never gets old, huh?
Nope.
It kind of makes you wanna.
Breaking the song?
Yup. I love the sunset.
I love Eagle Lake.
I love the forest.
I love when eagles play.
I love the campus and all its sights and sounds.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
I love philosophy.
We love diversity. I love English.
And all its weird words.
I love the music.
And all its melodies. Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
I love fraternities.
I love sororities.
I love to draw things.
And all the athletes.
I love Moorhead.
It's such a pretty place.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
And welcome back to What's Up. We are now joined by a very special guest, the one and only, the documentarian.
Oh my goodness.
Colonel Stephen Middleton.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It is great to have you back on with
now
us.
that I'm in the office suite with the foreign language faculty, I'm El Comandante.
El Comandante. Okay, that's a long title, Colonel El Comandante.
How did they fit that on your desk?
It takes a while, but they did it.
They did it.
Yeah.
They got it done.
You. Speaking of documentarian,
That's right.
Commonwealth Curiosities, Volume 2.
Oh,
Volume
man.
2
Volume 2
is near completion.
It is, yeah. I'd say it's about 90% complete. We have a date of December 2nd. It's going to be shown at Coffee Tree Books here in town on the old University Cinema big screen, which is the biggest screen on this entire side of the Kentucky River. So
Really?
yes.
Huh. So, what is there a time? set,
6
or
o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
December 2nd. Be there or be square.
That's right. It's free, open to the public.
I'm excited for that. Commonwealth Curiosities, Volume 2. That's a mouthful.
That's right.
El Comandante. I can't even talk to it.
I would say CCV2.
CCV2.
So, yeah.
Okay. What are some
interesting places?
Interesting places.
Well, we did the first. There were 6 places we featured, and kind of ramped it up and added a little human growth hormone, if you will, to Volume 2. There's 10.
Oh,
there's some strange places. There's, of course, the Jefferson Davis Monument, which looks just like the Washington Monument that's out in western Kentucky. There is Funtown Mountain, which you just kind of have to go to see that place. There's the East Kentucky Museum of Mysteries. There's the Dixie Belle Riverboat tour we went on. We went with, oh good Lord, the Kentucky Doll and Toy Museum, and
I never knew any of these places existed.
we
until now.
We did a feature with Corey Ramsey of Map.Kentucky, who runs his own little documentary stuff. So
A little bit later in the segment, we're going to show you a sneak peek into it, but we want to pick your brain about some things.
Sure,
this
all
is a
right.
big political season that we're
That's
in right now.
right.
And, we just had the Republican CNBC debate last week, and the media has taken a big hit to this, especially the moderators. They're saying that the big topic, the big moment that everybody's talking about is when Ted Cruz says the questions that have been asked so far in this debate illustrate why the American people don't trust the media. This is not a cage match. And you look at the questions. Donald Trump, are you a comic book villain? Ben Carson, can you do math? John Kasich, will you insult 2 people over here? Marco Rubio, why don't you resign? Jeb Bush, why have your numbers fallen? They're now saying, mainstream media, they're so liberal, they don't care. They're taking one side. As a person in the media, and as a professor in the Convergent Media Department.
Yeah, going back to the end of the Bill Clinton years, late 90s, Fox News was sort of emerging as this option for news, and they started niching everything right wing. And so this media spin started. There's a great book out there called The Republican Noise Machine, and how this illusion of the liberal media began. And going all the way back to the history of mass media, mass communication, the news and journalists were supposed to be fair and balanced. And of course, when they created this opposite niche for conservative media, then that gave all other media as liberal. So it's all a carnival trick. It just adds to people posting terrible things on Facebook about their opinions of the media. But there is no bias.
I think it was kind of interesting though, because the whole debate was supposed to be centered on the economy, and I think that there were some questions like the whole comic book one. There was something of that line. I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. But I also think you've got 3 moderators and you had 10 candidates on there for 2 hours. Why are there still 14, 15 candidates running?
Yeah, PBS had a show on last night about the election of 1968, and one of the things they talked about was how in 1968 you just had the year of the presidential election is when the primaries were. Because cable TV is so desperate for ratings, how many debates do they have now?
We've had 3 Republican and 1 Democrat.
You know, they're going to be sponsored by Kmart, you know, so they can get corporate logos out there. But it's all part of the strategy. It's all part of the illusion of what's really going on. Smoke and mirrors. It's an old carnival trick. You wouldn't say anything about pro wrestling. Pro wrestling does this every week, and people make fun of it. So.
There you go. You know, another thing that's been making headlines a lot is this whole fraternity hazing. It's something we've talked about on this show. We even talked about it with you.
I believe we've talked about it at least 4 times.
Yeah, this is season 4. Every time Middleton's on, there's
show every
time.
time. All right.
It's something. Again, another case of it. Two more fraternity members have been arrested in connection with the 2014 hazing death of a 19-year-old college student in New York. Trevor Duffy was 19, and he died of excessive alcohol consumption last fall after drinking a 60-ounce bottle of vodka during his initiation into Zeta Phi.
60 ounces.
60 ounces. That doesn't sound healthy.
60 ounces of water would be hard to take in one setting.
Yeah, well, this was vodka. Yeah. So this is a fraternity that is unrecognized by the University of Albany. He was 7 times over the legal blood alcohol limit when he was taken to Albany Medical Center on November 17th and died shortly after. Again, why is this still an issue in 2015? What?
Well, you guys go first, and I'll give my take on it.
I think that I'm not at all saying that it is the fault of this, of one party. But I do think that, as a college student, you have a choice as to whether you want to be a part of an organization. And knowing that this is not an organization recognized by the university, I would be hesitant to join it. But at the same time, peer pressure is a thing. Like there are still people who are responsible for that, and so I wouldn't want to blame the individual that was killed or the fraternity, either one, because I think they're both at fault. Like you make a decision to participate with them, and they make the decision to put that peer pressure.
Yeah, and it just shocks me. I think still to this day in 2015, where everything we do is under a microscope. It seems because of social media. How is this still going on, and how is this unrecognized fraternity? How does that work
That's
out?
what I was thinking. It's absolutely atrocious that stuff like this still happens, because kind of like what Morgan was going off of about how it's not university recognized. So you have to question, it begs the question of the accreditation of the organization on campus to begin with. How does stuff like this happen? And the university won't be held accountable because it's not recognized,
Just the fact that we have talked about this,
every season.
Every season, and this is the 4th or 5th time now, and people are seeing this all over social media and all over television, and they're not taking any hints. I mean, people are
it's
dying.
because it's glamorized on television.
Absolutely. And people are blowing it up bigger than it needs to be, and it's just becoming, I think, a bigger deal now than it has been in a long time.
Well, I once read that if Steve Jobs knew what people were using iPhones for today, he would probably be happy because they're exposing corruption. But this stuff has always happened. We just hear about it more now because of our access to media. It's terrible, and I think it's something that definitely needs to be rectified. This is the 4th time I think we've talked about it on here.
Yeah.
In the years I've worked here, there's every year and a half or so another fraternity on campus does something like this. It's a stereotype, and I think it needs to change.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we thank Colonel Middleton for stopping by. As we go to break, we're going to show you a sneak peek to Commonwealth Curiosities Volume 2, which you can see at Coffee Tree Books on December 2nd at 6 p.m.
That's right.
We'll be right back.
My name is Stephen Middleton. The summer of 2014, I had the pleasure of driving across the great state of Kentucky, documenting roadside attractions. From a ventriloquist museum, to Bible-themed mini-golf, dinosaur world to the tomb of a mysterious man. I visited these places in hopes of showcasing the last of the roadside attractions in Kentucky, but soon realized after the first documentary aired, these were far from the only ones. So I am once again hitting the open road to find more curiosities in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. How many more interesting places are spread throughout our state? And who are the fascinating people behind them that are keeping the curiosity of roadside attractions alive? The following documentary is a testament to those folks who are still out there keeping things a little weird and curious in the Commonwealth. The folks I call the last real Kentuckians. So hold on as we take a ride to showcase the Commonwealth and all of her curiosities one more time.
It's a weekend that many Morehead State University students, especially here in the Convergent Media Department, look forward to every spring semester, but it's coming early this year. I'm talking about the Morehead State Film Challenge. Here to discuss it all with us is the head of the Film Challenge, Jeffrey Hill. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about what the Morehead Film Challenge is.
Well, the Morehead Film Challenge is based on the 48-hour film project, which is something that happens worldwide at different times of the year. And in a nutshell, on Friday night of this week, November 6th, there's going to be teams that will meet here in Breckenridge Hall, and they'll be given a line of dialogue, a character's name, a prop, and a genre. They've got to take those 4 elements and make a movie by 10 a.m. Monday. And then that Monday night, November 9th, next Monday, we will be showing them at the cinema here in town at 8 o'clock and do a little world premiere event.
Oh, that's exciting.
So like we said, the Film Challenge is usually in the spring. What made you guys want to move on to the fall?
Well, we've had such great success with it over the last few years, and we've had so many students that have really pushed to have an extra one done. Yeah. So, yeah, we're giving it a try. We'll see how it goes.
And are we still having one in the spring?
Absolutely. Yeah, awesome. There'll definitely be this. It'll be, I think, 11th or 12th year this coming spring. So
fantastic. Good, wonderful. So what do students need to do to secure a spot in the Film Challenge?
Come to my office, 203A Breckenridge Hall, and on my door I have some application sheets. Fill it out, drop it off to me, give me $10, that's the entry fee, and then let me know what gear you need. And then again, you'll get that gear and that information this Friday, and you'll have until Monday to make the movie. Also, it's helpful if you kind of let me know sooner than later. Invariably, we get 1 or 2 teams that just sort of show up that Friday, and that's okay. You know, that's cool. But to make sure that we have the gear necessary for everybody, it's good if we got a little bit of a lead time on that.
Yeah, is it kind of like a first come, first serve basis?
Absolutely, first come, first serve for gear. So those that have gear, or they have their own gear, some of the people are doing that. They only need a few things. Some need full-blown packages. So got everything in between.
And this is coming up this coming weekend, correct?
Yes, that is correct. The
Awesome.
Film Challenge will start this Friday, November 6th, 5 o'clock. The films will be due by Monday, November 9th at 10 a.m. That afternoon, they'll be judged. I'll be making a DVD screener, and then that night, again at the University Cinemas, we'll have a big premiere, world premiere event. I think I've got $94 gift certificates I'll randomly hand out to people to get a little snack, a little popcorn, whatever. It'll be like, oh, you have on Blue Shoes, have a certificate.
Congratulations.
So it's just very random, yeah.
So what is the key to having a winning film in the Morehead Film Challenge?
Well, really, the bottom line is you incorporate those 4 elements, right? Mm-hmm. You take the genre and you nail the genre. We've done this for about 11 years. We've done about 11 different genres. And some that we thought would go well didn't go all that well, like the Western. We thought the Western, students will nail that. And they didn't do so well. They figured if they had a horse in it, then it was a Western.
It's a Western.
So that didn't go all that well. But that's it, right? You've got to get those 4 elements. You've got to incorporate the prop, you got to use the genre, you got to do the character's name, and you got to use that line of dialogue and make that all relevant.
I gotta say, last spring was probably my favorite with the Lifetime.
The Lifetime movie,
that was so good.
That
I
was
mean,
so
some
cool.
of the ones that won. I mean, they were all just so good.
Yeah.
So.
Well, really, one of the best ones that we've had, it was way back, like in 2006. We did the chick flick, or the romantic comedy.
Awesome.
And the top 2 really nailed it. I mean, they were film festival material, absolutely. Really solid.
All right. Well, we thank Jeffrey Hill for stopping by. If you are interested in the Film Challenge, stop by his office right here in Breckenridge Hall, and we will be right back. Don't go away, guys.
It's that time of year, everybody, here in Moorhead. In a few weeks, we've got the 6th annual Craft Bazaar coming up. So here to talk with us about that is Kathleen Thompson-Parker from the theater department.
Hi.
So,
Hello. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Kathleen, tell us a little bit about the Craft Bazaar.
Well, like you said, we've been having it for a little while now, and each year gets a little bit bigger. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that you don't have to be from the art department. We have people from the theater department. We have people from communications. If you are a crafter and you want to sell something, get in touch with us. We have a Facebook page. It's the facebook.com/craftsbazaar. Or you can get in touch with Jennifer Rice, and she is our gallery director. And it's totally free to have a table there. Come sell your crafts, or if you'd like to come to the Craft Bazaar, it's the 3rd and 4th of December, and buy some wonderful gifts, personalized gifts for Christmas.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we talked about the process to get an event like this up, to get the crafts ready and ready to sell. And
Well, it's everybody on an individual basis, so it has to do with how fast you work. Like we have some knitters that probably knit all year long to have enough to sell. Some people do block printing Christmas cards, and they might be able to do a whole bunch within like a month and just be ready for. So it depends on the artist. But it's really nice to be an artist with us because you don't have to do anything other than keep an inventory list. You don't have to sit there at your table like you would at Arts and Eats. As long as we have the exact inventory in front of us, we can sell it for you and get you your share of the money, and you don't have to pay for your table. So it's a great way to make extra holiday money if you are a crafter.
Wonderful. So of the items that are for sale though, what's the pricing like? Like, does it vary?
It varies from artist and artisan, but I can give you an idea of the kind of things that they sell.
Yeah,
They sell framed art, jewelry, knitwear, scarves, sweaters, those kind of things. Screen printing, candles, homemade soap. All sorts of things.
Crafty.
Yeah, it's crafty. And then Christmas ornaments,
Yeah, it sounds
things
perfect.
like that.
Perfect
too,
for
you know.
that time of
year. Yeah. Magnets.
Magnets.
Everybody likes a magnet.
Yeah.
Everybody collect magnets
Secret
out
Santa.
there. I kind of.
I do actually know somebody that
Yeah.
she's like a grandmother to me, and her whole refrigerator is full of magnets. So I think we just found a Christmas tree.
There you go.
There
Chat will be
you
picking them up.
But you also go ahead. No.
I was just going to ask, can you tell us when Craft Bazaar is going to be open to the public?
Absolutely. It's Thursday, December 3rd, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then Friday, December 4th, and that's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay. Now, as we mentioned, you are in the theater department. You guys, both of you, have some exciting productions coming up. Can you give us a little preview of what you guys are working on?
Well, obviously, I came dressed for today. I work in the carpentry shop, the scene shop down here at the theater department in Breckenridge Hall, and we are hard at work building the set for Clybourne Park, which is an exciting play, very politically and socially aware, very exciting, small cast, very intense. Come out, support, enjoy.
Awesome.
That's coming up here in the next few weeks. So
yeah,
if you want to go ahead and get
I
your
think we're
tickets.
2 weeks away. So
And then
go to the box
obviously
office.
Carrie coming up in February.
Yes.
which I'm excited
Kathleen's
for.
actually playing my mother.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Yep. Carrie and Margaret White.
that would be an exciting
Meet the
time.
Whites.
Well, thank you so much, Kathleen, for coming on. We want you to keep in mind that the Craft Bazaar will be December 3rd and 4th here on campus, and I hope that you all can come. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Don't get enough What's Up when we're on the air? Well, now you can get us right on your cell phone,
On your tablet.
your laptop.
We're everywhere.
Like us on Facebook so you can join in on the What's Hot conversation.
Follow us on Twitter so you can see what's up everywhere.
Join us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes pictures and videos.
You can catch every episode of What's Up on msutv.net.
What's Up? We're everywhere.
All right, guys, we are back. Austin, tell our lovely viewers what we're doing after the show today.
Oh, we got a little something extra for you guys. We are continuing our What's Hot segments on facebook.com/whatsupmsu. And we're just going to be talking about some stuff that I'm not going to tell you guys yet. So it's going to be fantastic.
You have to
Stay
go to Facebook.
tuned. Go to Facebook,
Go to
like us,
facebook.com.
follow us, whatever.
Like us, follow us, everything. Because it's exclusively on Facebook. You're not going to see it anywhere else.
Anywhere else.
So there you go.
And you can watch it over and over again.
Over and over.
Oh,
like you
just
can
keep
also
the views
watch
going,
best part.
refresh
Exactly.
the page.
And you can do that on all episodes of What's Up on msutv.net. Go to the What's Up tab at the top of the page, and there we are. You can watch all the episodes from this season, and if you really want to, you can go all the way back to season 1. I advise against it.
Oh, you should do it.
Oh.
You should really
We're
do it.
actually, we're only a couple shows away from my last show, and there's going to be a segment where Austin and I go back, take a walk down memory lane.
Sadly. And watch our first
So
show.
watch our first show.
Ooh, my.
So there's that.
Fun.
Speaking of upcoming shows, President Andrews is on with us next week. That's going to be
A
exciting.
celeb.
I know. It's going to be big, so we
Bring your-
can't wait for that.
Get ready.
Get ready for that. Exactly. Again, we thank Jacob Miller for stopping by.
Thank you
You're
so
gonna,
much.
You're going to stick around for the
It
after
was a
show, aren't
pleasure.
you?
Well, of course. Why
Awesome.
wouldn't I? It's great. It's great.
All right. Well, Ricky, we love you. We miss you. We hope to see you next week. We hope to see everybody next week.
Yes.
But until then, you know the drill. Always stop to listen to What's
What's
Up? Bye, guys.
Where'd
Look at this
Austin
card.
go?
Look at this.
For more on What's Up, visit msutv.net.